that it phoned when I was around, because whenever I'm around, I want to really sit and listen in and share with you. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving us an opportunity. I am really glad that I came after Afande RDC, because he has said almost everything I wanted to say, and he has even added more that I would not have said. And I'm glad that he has given a summary of really the issues here. I want to thank you, Afande RDC, before this council, that it's good you've given us a preamble of who you are, but Koboko, I want to add that you are blessed, because this is one of the most experienced RDCs in Uganda. He's one of the most transparent, and I know he's going to help us greatly. Balaam may come when he has sorted most of the issues, like he has said. I remember when there were issues in Obongi, and one time I called the office of president. I said, what is the problem? Because it had become personal between the chairman and the RDC. I asked, what is the problem really? And they told me, Hajjati, we know you're from West Nile, you're concerned about the fights, but that is one of the most transparent RDCs. If anybody is saying that he is corrupt, then they must give evidence. But so I paid a deaf ear, and later on I realized that actually the man had handled the corrupt by the balls, and corruption was fighting back. And I want to assure you that we shall give you the necessary support here, because corruption fights back. And I want to tell you that support him in this fight, because before you know it, you're going to see articles accusing him of what he has not done, so that he's derailed. You're going to see articles accusing him, not only him, but his office of the president. You're going to see articles accusing the speaker, accusing me. I've been at it. Many of you see sometimes Hajjat has done this, Hajjat has done that. Sometimes I get fed up and I go to the president. I say, but what is this? And he says, stay on your lane. Because I have fought corruption at the party. I have come up with financial policies that have helped the party. No more carrying money in sacks. No more people moving with money. No more people, the local people handle their resources. And I've even followed it to the dot. That even when an administrator at a local level misuses public money, I go back. As I speak, we have issues in Arua, we have issues in Yumbe, and I don't hide because this is from West Nile. I confront it. So I want to tell you, councillors, please, just Kisanja, no more sleep. Government is saying, we have done our part. We have sent resources. Even when people say they are not enough, the not enough is being abused. What is not enough is being abused. So let us deal. Corruption is now the biggest problem we have. If we don't confront it head on, we are going to perish. Because before you know it, these politicians, I was telling them, every time they come for meetings here, they tell them transport refund. Why people ask you for money is because when they go to the hospital, they are asking them to buy the drugs. And the drugs are stolen. So when you fight the stealing of drugs in the hospital, this 190 will not ask you for money to buy drugs. If you fight the corruption in charging fees in schools, nobody will ask you for fees. If you fight the corruption in the markets, the rural people are exploited. If you fight the corruption in our systems here, then we are going to be fine. But I found the RDC also protect our people. Yesterday I was shocked. I came across something and I wanted to read to council. And tweeting to Balaam, that Balaam, he called him a 10. Endeavor to overhaul local government computerized digital system managed by Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Local Government technocrats. What the district councils pass in their budgets is sometimes not what is uploaded on the system, and the politicians don't access that system. So I was also scared that we may be fighting corruption here also at the higher level, that the monies they may be alleging that Koboko is receiving is not what we are receiving. So you don't stop here. Is what they are reflecting in the systems at Ministry of Finance what you are getting, If they are saying this is the wage bill Koboko is getting, is that what you're getting? I remember one time when we were with the chairman here following issues of the wage bill. And the policy guideline is that there should be a certain staffing capacity for the district, 65%. Now the ministry officials were also shocked that really, we thought Koboko was worse, but by then, chairman, it was which district? Mariokolo. They were operating at less than 30%. And the ministry was shocked and embarrassed to see that, is that possible in Uganda? That you have a district with a staffing capacity of about 20-something%, and it had happened. So, much as you are debating here, fighting over the little, is what is being reflected that you are receiving exactly what you are supposed to receive? Also follow through that. And really, I want to appeal for unity. What you saw here is what we have come from. We have come from an election where we have not healed. You know, all of us. For me, if I saw you were vehemently opposing my presidential candidate, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, it would have angered me. But if you have won, and you're now in a given office, I should give you an opportunity to serve. We should work together. I don't see that in Koboko we have opposition, because most of the leaders, even when they became independent, they first participated in the NRM primaries. I'm telling you. I don't, except where we even have FDC in LC1, there was one person somewhere. But he works well with the NRM. I have seen him in NRM campaigns mobilizing from Zay. And I have asked him, Kapapara, why don't you join us openly? Because I always see you saying, now this is the government, we have to. But when it comes to his seat of LC1, he says, no, he has to be FDC. But the MPs, largely they are NRM, even the ones who went and then signed MOUs with the party. The LC5 is NRM. The councillors majority are NRM. If they are any independents, they are NRM leaning. Kindly pay attention to the manifesto like he said. You are not implementing anything outside the NRM manifesto. If you're making promises here which are not in the manifesto, they will not be implemented. Because the government is working with that document. If they are saying PDM is going to be 100,000 per parish, that's what government will do. If it is 200 million per parish, that's what government will do. If they are talking about the road, they are going, you look at all the programs now being implemented by either central government or local government. They are reflected in the manifesto. And I want to pledge that I should furnish the Council of Koboko with our manifesto. So, service to the people. I moved in this campaign before the elections in the entire Koboko. And I was very happy that in all the campaign I was doing orientation, or I was sensitizing the community. Because I would begin by telling them, why should you vote for NRM people? Why should you vote for even a leader of any of your choice? I would give them the roles of these leaders. And I was telling them why, because I also want the people to hold us accountable. You have voted for people, but when you go to the community and you're lying to people, people will hold you accountable based on the lies. People will not follow what you are saying because what you say is what they will ask you. If you told them, I am going to bring for you an ambulance as a councillor, when you go, that's what they will ask you. Where is our ambulance? And that's a reason for them to throw you out. And yet you cannot even afford to buy one, not even, you know? So promise people facts. Promise people the manifesto, because those ones are things which can be followed. That I am going to ensure that this road is worked on because it is in the manifesto. If it is in your constituency, promise it. I am going to ensure that Koboko Hospital that government promised, it is improved ABCD because it is in the manifesto. That I am going to ensure that we have this school in every, a primary school in every parish. Huh? Yes. And I'm going to ensure a sub-county we have a school. Because these are things that government is mandated to do. And you have a right to promise and follow up. But when you go and lie, this one is a witch doctor, this one stole somebody's wife, those things do not matter. What matters is what is in the service delivery policies. So I want us to tone down. I want us to forgive each other. I want us to move on for the sake of Koboko, for the sake of West Nile, for the sake of Uganda. Because this you're doing to the people of Koboko, but also the people of Uganda. Even East Africa, because you're also hosting refugees here. When things are not well, you're affecting the entire East Africa, not only this place. So let us be really people who have good hearts, people who mean well for their people, people who ensure that they do the right thing at all times. Afande RDC, Mr. Speaker, through you, I have been getting, you know, people always send things to me, and they think that, Madam, for us we are defeated, help us. And sometimes I tell them, no, this is not the best channel. Others say this is not. Sometimes it is even stories. Somebody has written something and says, there is this, help us with media. And I'm like, no, that's not how we deal. Because if I am to put Koboko on the map, I'm also getting embarrassed. If I am to put a story that brings this district down, everyone comes down. Because the government implications on some of the things are serious. Sometimes government punishes by withdrawing certain grants, isn't it? So when they withdraw, who suffers? It is not you people who are earning salary. It is those people who are supposed to get those services. Be careful about every decision you take. Be careful about the things you say or do. So, I agree that if you have to get back and harmonize. I hear councillors here saying, my committee or the minister, even that, even when you're a minister, when you know that I'm coming to council and I need these people to support this issue, debate with each other out of this. Share, get their guidance. I was shocked to hear a speaker saying, you know, you are not supposed to propose a name. It shouldn't have come here. But I thought when you consult yourselves back door, it should remain there. But consult each other so that the loopholes are removed. Because some of the names you're proposing, maybe they're in other committees, somebody will tell you that this one don't bring. But if you don't consult, they will fight it here. But if you had consulted, they would have warned you that you see now you are bringing Medina, but she's already Director of Finance NRM. She's over-engaged. Why don't we bring another person? You see you are bringing Lobule. Medina is from Lobule. This commission has 3 Lobule members already. Why don't we balance the district? You know you are bringing Medina. We have seen the commission became a tribal fight. Medina doesn't want Aluru people here. And that did not deter me because I told the president I am going for this fight. And he said, please, even you as a director of finance, as a citizen of Uganda, you have a right to fight corruption anywhere in this country. So nobody should say this is not your mandate. And I did. However, I see the tenets of same problems happening. You see when something happens and people, the punishment is halfway or haphazardly done, people think that it is okay. It becomes the order of the day. So the recent thing I've been hearing, which I had here, is the issue of recruitment, that it had gone wrong somewhere, somehow. Allegations, I'm not saying it is true, because sometimes people lose interviews, then they come and say, we have been cheated. Some people genuinely do not have papers, they are not competent, they come and say bribes. But I find they pay attention where there is evidence of corruption. There must be a total overhaul of what happened previously. Because I'm personally hurt, I was part of the team that went to the ministry, really fighting hard that we get a wage bill that is deserving. So when you get public resources, you don't play around. We want competent people. Sometimes some of the problems we have here is because of incompetence. These technical people don't sit in those offices. But when they are serviced by incompetent people, then you see the problems we have. We here in Uganda, not here particularly. I do not condone the politics of tribe, religion, because the NRM doesn't condone that. But also, if there are people who qualify and they are from here, it is okay to have them. If they don't, then it is okay to source from elsewhere. I don't want to hear you saying we want only Kakwas, because also there are Kakwas who are employed in Mbarara. There are Kakwas who are employed in Kampala. There are Kakwas who are employed in the NRM Secretariat. You know? We want only Muslims or we want only Christians. That one doesn't carry water. Competence first. Do they meet the qualifications? Do they? So I've had allegations of bribes I've had allegations of changing of minutes of service commissions here and there. I pray you pay attention to that. That is the one I've so far had. Then the one of PDM, I keep hearing. There was a time I even intervened in Kuluba with the former RDC because there was somebody who was extorting money from people. And I think that is also still continuing. However, members, I really want to say that we are there to support and guide when needed. But you also guide us where you see us going astray. Because sometimes we are in these positions and we assume power and we think we can do this or that. Honorable Isaac, it doesn't do you bad to give me a call and say, my daughter, I see you, but tone down. Because I see ourselves as leaders sometimes on groups, you know. Sometimes it takes somebody to tell me that, Hajjat, stop that. Hajjat, don't do this. Hajjat, don't go there. So the guidance is two-way. Let us guide each other where we see we are going wrong. And finally, I want to say, Koboko, I don't know what you are going to do about drug abuse and the misuse of places of fun, where I see children, you move around the town between 8, especially now this holiday, you're going to see young men and women below 15 dressed in a funny way, moving on the streets, even up to 2 a.m. you find them insulting, drinking, doing and all sorts of things. I don't know which resolutions council can have as far as banning night movement for people under a certain age, but also I think we should go as far as having penalties on parents. That is, I don't know, I may be outrageous in thinking. When I was growing up, my father will not enter his house or his room when we are not inside. He will check the girls, are they in? Are the boys in? Then he comes and locks the gate. By 8 p.m. when he's moving out of the gate, he locks the gate from outside so that nobody gets out. But parents, now you are sleeping comfortably. At midnight, your daughter of 11 years is not at home and you're not bothered. You think it should be the schools to take care of your children, the churches, the mosques. So the families must be held accountable, and there must be something really done about these children, because they spoil the rest if they are allowed to do what they do. You used to have what you call uye boys, who are the parents of these children. If they are a problem, let them be arrested. They used to disturb the former RDC, throwing stones at his home because they think this is the law enforcement officer. So, drug abuse, mairungi eating, bangi smoking, and loitering in town, you know, of young minors, children who are under the age of 15, children who are 16, 17, it's a big problem here. So I think those are some of the things. Beyond these technical things, you also discuss societal issues. What do we do? Morality, immorality, discipline in society, among ourselves, out there. Let's have that discussed. Mr.